Hey up, me ducks. It's Simon here. How are we doing today? Let's pop open the chat. Oh, wow, loads and loads of people. Never know where to put that. Okay, so who we got here with us today? And welcome, start of a new week. Start of week 8 of QuaranStream. So we've got Marina, Witcher Whimsy, Stephanie, Jamie, Patrice, Ink Witcher Girl, Justin, Eternal, Zane, Witchcapades, Wiccan, Sandra, Merrick, Patsy, Shane, Nancy, Jamie, Ans, Elle, Lottie. Who else we got? Jesse, Tycon, Laurie, Corvin, Naomi, Jackie, Groon, Wiccan, and I think that's everybody. Oh, Sean, Blue Crescent Tarot, Rob, Sadana, Courageous, Witch of Whimsy, Blue Crescent, Ken, and wow, so many people. Daughters of Flowers, Trisha, and Jonathan, Elaine, Robin, Julia, Becca, Kim. Any more going to jump in at the last minute? Kristen. Yeah, I think I've caught everybody. If I haven't, I do apologise if I missed, but there's 53 people here already. We're only just getting going, and it's scrolling real fast. So how are we doing today? How is everybody? Let's have a bit of a check-in first before we get going. Let me get the camera right. It seems a bit ski-whiff today. People are saying hello to everybody, which is lovely, but how are we doing? Hope everyone has had a fantastic weekend. Hello, Lucian. Good to see you as well. People are still saying hello. Just wait and see how people are. Nobody's saying how they are, but I hope you're okay anyway. So, oh, then it's all come at once. Jamie, hello, Jamie. Tired from driving, but good. At least you're home now, aren't you, and settled, so that's good. Oh, Dan's here as well. Hello, Dan. Corvin's tired. Doing okay, says Jessie. Been knitting and making fun jewellery. Oh, fab. Deflated, Simon. What a fiasco here. It's so confusing, isn't it? I did tune in. I was just finishing off work, and I did tune in to the Parliament where Boris was kind of giving an update to explain things in more detail. And I'm even more confused. So now we can meet up with other people outside of our household. One person can leave a household, another person can leave a household. They can meet together, they can travel any distance, so we can go to the coast if we want, to exercise, keeping 6 meters apart. A bit difficult in a car, how you do that. And I still can't go and see my mum because she doesn't live on her own. It's only one person from each household. So it's just, there's loads of different things. And this quarantine business, if you're coming into the UK, you've got to quarantine for 14 days. Before, and how do you know? Or when they get here, and how do they do that? I just don't understand so much of it. But anyway, Naomi's not bad, so that's good. I'm here on time because my dog got me up, says Jonathan. It started at 6 a.m. here, wow. Mind you, 6 a.m. this morning, I went out for a walk. I left at 6 a.m. this morning as the sun was rising. It was beautiful. I got back about 7:30, had some breakfast and started work. And it was really nice. I'm scared. We are lifting the stay-at-home orders. Where are you, Laurie? Doing good. Sandra's okay. All is sunny in Ginger Faye's world. Yeah, so lots of people doing good. Sleeping, not sleeping. Yeah, sleep is just... So many people at the moment I'm speaking to is suffering with their sleep, and I'm one of them, and I'm normally nothing keeps me awake. Susan's good. I'm still waiting for bloody Shadowscapes. That's how I am, says Becca. It will come, Becca. I'm still waiting for my Domino's book that was posted like a week ago in the UK. I'm like, good job I got a download of it, but all is well. And I've had post. It's not like there's no post. I've had post today. I've had my pension paperwork, which you get every year, don't you? All good today, Simon. Gardening, teaching, and feeding the wild birds was on my task list today. It sounds idyllic, Elaine. Hi, Biffa, or Biffy, sorry. I'm Mendy. I'm too tired to sleep. 45 minutes last night. Oh, and sometimes you feel worse just having like that 45 minutes or an hour. I feel better if I don't sleep at all. So when it got to like 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, I was like, even if I fall asleep now, I'm going to feel dreadful. So just get up and have a coffee and try again. Have a daytime nap. Radiant. Hi, Crystal Sparkles. I was lucky this morning. Got up, got hold of a first edition Spacious Tarot. Yay, there's still a couple floating around then. If you saw my video the other day, my top 5 decks of the last 12 months, it was my number 1. It's my favourite deck that has been released in the last 12 months. How can they police how many people are in a house, Simon? Exactly. It's a bit... I can understand what they're doing. You know, they're trying to... Because we're going into a 3rd month now, and they're trying to give people something, you know, to try and still maintain. So we've gone from the slogan of stay at home to now stay alert. So you can go out more, unlimited, in terms of how long you're out the house for, how many times a day you go out, and how far you go is unlimited. But you've still got to be alert. You've still got to, you know, so that we don't spread and get a second peak. So I understand that they're trying to give people something. Oh, sleep, what's that? They're doing that 14-day quarantine here in Hawaii and have had to kick several people out of the state because they didn't stick to quarantine. Yeah, it's just how you police it. It's going to be so intensive. I'm still waiting for the IBIS, Tara Di Marseille. ISIS, sorry, Tara Di Marseille. My little majors only arrived today in a coffin-shaped box. Wow. I love that Marseille deck that's got the dark blue background. Is it Stone Quarry or something like that? Or the Stone Marseille? I had Fallen Ormond, 1 tarot, 1 playing card deck arrive while I was gone. Wow. Waiting for the Golden Girls tarot. Raven hasn't slept much since surgery. People talking to each other. Let's see if I can see any capital. Simon, my mum who lives in the States and she's going for a haircut on Friday because she apparently needs a haircut. Wow. Go out but don't go out. Go to work but don't use public transport. So confusing. I know. Well, he did say avoid public transport. He said even if you have to walk. But, you know, I just don't think they want buses crammed with people, do they? Went to the park on Saturday, got sunburnt, been so long, forgot sunscreen. I know, I forgot how long it is I've walked and now I've got blisters and everything else. Okay, anything else? No. So, today, what am I going to be talking about today? So, I think I saw Nancy in the room, our lovely Texas Rose. because I watched this morning very early. In fact, I think Nancy was still up because it was her last night. That's how early it was. Nancy had done a VR, and if you're new here, that's video response. So if somebody talks about a particular subject, people could do a video response to it. I think a lot of people get confused and think as well that a VR has to be in relation to a tag. It doesn't. You know, a tag is when you create something, call it a tag, and then people use that tag to do their video responses. But people could do video responses to any subjects that people are talking about if they're inspired to follow on from it or add to it. And Nancy did, I'm here, Simon. Nancy did a VR to what I posted yesterday morning, which was filmed Saturday night during one of my sleepless in Nottingham states, which was my top 5 tarot decks of the last 12 months. And she showed a deck that has popped up, and Shane is in the chat as well, and he posted into the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Shane. Who was it? Was it Dan? Was it Dan? Was it you? It's somebody I've spoken to recently. It might have even been Ben. Either Shane, Dan, or Ben posted into the Hermit's Cave the Tarot of the She. And the Tarot of the She has been one of those decks that I have had for a few years. And everybody talked about it in the community, and it was very popular. And I kind of got sucked in, as you do. Thank you, Elle, for the link. I kind of got sucked into it, and I was like, I really want that deck. Oh, you know, I can understand why everybody likes it. And I got it, and I looked through it and put it back on the shelf, where it's kind of remained ever since. I think I might have done a spread with it, like an interview spread, if memory serves. And certainly when I got the deck today, it was out of order. And it was Ben, because when I did my QuaranStream on Friday, which was Anything Goes, I compared it with the Mary Alden tie. That's where it came from. Oh, and Sandra's put, it was Ben who posted, yeah. But when Nancy showed hers, she had trimmed it on 2 sides, and I really liked it. It's not a deck that I would have trimmed on 3 sides or even taken everything off, because it is very different, and all of the suits have been renamed, which is also sometimes quite irksome to me, and another reason why I don't connect with some decks. And there are keywords on the minors as well. But it got me thinking about decks that are kind of underused by me in my collection, or even understated decks, ones that don't get a lot of love and attention. What are we talking about? As if I were talking about decks that are underused, that you might bring into your collection. I think the title is Most Underappreciated and Underused Decks. So this has sat on my, as I said, my shelf for a few years, and I don't think, other than very first getting it, have I ever used it. It comes in a nice box like this. I've got 5 to show you that are underappreciated and underused. You get a nice little book, not too, you know, in depth. And this is the original size. And I really love this glyph. I think it's a really beautiful back. I like the way it looks like the light is bouncing off it as well. So that's the original size. I can't show you a card because I've trimmed them all. So this morning, very early, before I even started work, I took to trimming it and edging it, and I am thrilled with it. And I just feel like I've got a new deck to play with. And again, I've said before, when you modify decks yourself, you appreciate them because you're looking at all the details more. And these have just been transformed, having been freed from the big black borders all the way around. It doesn't affect the back too much. In fact, I quite like the back, losing those two sides. But look at the difference in size. You actually take off quite a bit. That's how much border, you know, if it was kind of in the centre. But that's how much card you're losing. But let me show you. So this is how they look now. And I'll just say firstly, this is the neatest trim job I've ever done with any deck, because for the first time I used a ruler and taped down a ruler to measure them, so that when I came to trimming them, because it's just on two sides, I could just do one side, quick, bam, 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 change the position of the ruler, line it up, and then bam, 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 bam again, and then corner around them and edge them. So this is how they've turned out, and I drew inspiration from Nancy, and I really like that. So we have quite a difference here. So we've got Dancer 8, and at first I remember thinking, oh, I'll probably use this as an oracle, but actually that wouldn't do it justice because it is a tarot deck. But we have Swords, which is air, that becomes Dreamers. Wands, which is fire, becomes Warriors. So it's imbuing, you know, the Dreamer, Swords, airy thoughts. Wands, fire, Warriors. Cups is water, that's Dancers. And Pentacles, which is earth, is Makers. But look how beautiful these images are now. And here's Warrior 3. So it gives you the kind of the element, and then its number. But look at that. Here is the Devil, which is Pan, because it's the Fae kingdom, the Fae world. I love this as well. And these are what I mean about the keywords. So we've got Warrior 6, and it's no foe too great. Here's our Magician. I need to buy a better cutter. Oh, Amanda got Tarot of the She last week. The Star. I mean, look at this. The Elder, which is 5. So that's our Hierophant, but it's the Elder. And I think it's really beautiful. Justice. Look at that balance between night and day. Really gorgeous. Root and Blossom for Maker 9. So Maker is our Pentacles. Warrior 10, the Great Task. So Warrior is our Wands, our fire. And you can pick that up. But look at that. The Wheel of Fortune. So I just completely... It's just completely transformed the deck for me, and I know that I can work with it. And it's come out as a decent size. So again, getting our trusted little template. It's the same width, but a little bit taller. So even taking off all of that has made it a nice tarot size. So thank you, Nancy, for the inspiration, because I really like it now. And it's really neat because I use that ruler. I think I'll always do that now because it's really nice. I edged it in black. And yeah, I think it's gorgeous. So that's my first one to show you, the Tarot of the She, out of the 5 most underappreciated and underused decks. Do put anything in capitals if you want me to see it. Hi, Selkie, by the way. I actually prefer mine as it is with the borders, and that's fine, isn't it? You know, this is because it's an underused and underappreciated deck by me. Having done that to it now, I just love it, and I just think, yeah, I'm gonna work with that for a bit. So it's helped me to, yeah, as Robin said, giving new life to old decks. So yeah, and it's not, you know, trimming, edging, backing. It's not for everyone. So the next deck I want to talk about is the Golden Thread Tarot. Again, I've had this 2 years next month. 2 years next month I've had this, and I think I've used it once. And it's such a shame because this was my first plastic deck. And I kind of was intrigued about, you know, what corner around it. It's the one from Hobbycraft, which is a craft store over here. It's just, you know, it's, in terms of size, it was 5mm or small. When I first saw these, I thought, how paper thin? But of course, because they're plastic, I mean, they're great. If people do riffle shuffling, you know, perfect. And, you know, if you're practicing, then great. And these are kind of like a circuit board type. I love the backs. I think the backs are beautiful. They're lovely under candlelight as well. Really beautiful. And the cardstock is lovely. It's by, what's the name of the company? Because they did that Marseille deck. Labyrinthos. I think, Robin, you've got their Marseille, haven't you? I forget what it's called now, Labyrinthos. But they're brilliant to deal with as well. When I emailed them, they said, our little elves are getting ready to get your deck together. And so, and yeah, it's just beautiful. Beautiful for outdoors, catching sunlight, under a lamp, under candlelight. Yeah, the app, I've got the app as well. But of course, there's a completely different effect on the app, aren't they? I use this deck in the bathtub. Yeah, we can spill water or anything on it with them being plastic. You just wipe them down. Fisker's Guillotine is a good one. Yeah, lots of people use that. I used, again, just a Hobbycraft one. But I do like the lever pull down, not the sliders. I've seen some decks that have been cut by a slide and it seems to fluff up the edge. Oh no, this is... So this is the feeling of when Simon makes you want to buy a deck. I need it now. This one, Shane, yeah, it is gorgeous. And of course, you can't damage them. You can't tear them or anything because they're plastic. And when they're in your hand, let me just show this one because that's beautiful. When they're in your hand, they feel really heavy, the plastic, but they're quite durable as well. So it's quite an amazing feeling, really. But if you're a riffle shuffler, they're a dream. So yeah, but really beautiful. There's the sun. So again, it's one I need to work with more because it's wonderful and I don't appreciate it enough or use it enough. And it comes in this lovely sturdy 2-part box as well, which is really nice. So Labyrinthos, Golden Thread Tarot. That's the inside of the box, which is beautiful. Waterproof, absolutely. I'm strong until now. I will make you buckle. So that's that. The next one is Tarot of Musterberg. So this is my second copy. My first copy was destroyed. So this has never been used because I replaced it because it was going out of print. I think it has gone out of print now unless they've made more. And this is by Curio & Co. I think it's Curio & Co. Yeah, on the sticker there, Curio & Co. And it has that lovely, even though it's just a tuck box, it's got that rose petal feel to it. The cards are based on Marseille. ish. But it is, there's a game you can play, but there's also a cartomancy guide, so the book flips. Now, it's based on a fictional place called Pennyland, and it's supposed to be like the old sort of fortune tellers at these amusement parks in the tent. And when you read the book, it can put people off because it says, you know, some rules of Pennyland. And it says things like, beyond time, the great beyond may work in mysterious ways, but our schedule does not. Start on time and finish your readings to coincide with the shift change, blah, blah, blah. But keep your tent tidy. Don't eat, drink, or file your nails at the divination table. And remember, ladies, the crystal ball is not a makeup mirror. It irked me a little bit. Respect your fellow fortune tellers. It goes on like that. But then there's one about keep busy. Don't let passerby see you listless or bored. You may practice dealing spreads in between readings, but do not use the cards to play poker with other procrastinators whilst in the tent. So it's all tongue-in-cheek because Pennyland doesn't exist. And it's been nicknamed as well the Ginger Deck. Big shout out to all our redheads. These are the backs, which I really like. But everybody in this deck has red hair. But it's really nice. The card stock is really good. I mean, it's a thick deck. And yeah, it's supposed to emulate a deck from times gone by. I love the Lover's card. Here's our Hermit. I love me some redheads. The Wheel. Hanged Man. Death. And then look at the Devil. I think the Devil is hilarious. So I really like it. I'll talk about people, you know, my little bugbear about the Tower card, the people falling from it should be in proportion. I mean, that's just a joke. You know, they're just half the size of it. They could step off that and not do themselves any damage. Star. I love the moon. I think the moon is beautiful. Sun. And it's quite, you know, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. I mean, look at the Judgment card. The World. Now, there is an additional card, which is just for this deck, which is the Siren, which is card 22. And then, this is where, you know, it's not Marseille past the aces because they're just strategically placed. You know, and if it was a Marseille deck and it's swords, they'd be curved into those familiar patterns. But I like it nonetheless. It doesn't matter to me really whether, same as when I was talking about Tower of the Witches the other day, it doesn't matter if they're not in a particular pattern. But the aces tend to be, and look, even with the two, look, and it says on here, oh well, it's in Latin, but Simon, does the Tower of Musterberg shuffle well? Yes, it does. Rose petal. No, the cards, sorry, it's just the box that is rose petal. The cards are like, kind of like Il Meneghello. But look, I mean, these are quite Marseille, aren't they? The coins. I'll show you a couple of court cards. The knight always have quite comical king and queen, comical horses. Again, that is quite Marseille, but then when we get to the minors, they're not in that crisscross pattern. I see a link there, Tarot BG. Is it still available then, Naomi? Because I know it was going to go out of print, and that's why I thought I need to replace my deck. I love the ace. etc. So, and again, they're not arranged in any particular style. So Tarot of Musterberg, the Tarot of Musterberg, I need, it's a 79 card deck. I need to, bit pricey. Is it? How much is it selling for now? It's amazing. I do love it. But again, it's underappreciated by me and underused. So I need to, you know, I don't buy decks just to sit as museum pieces. I buy them because I feel connected to them and I want to use them. So that's why I'm doing this, to kind of, you know, I looked at my collection and thought, $60.59, not too bad for indie. But it all depends on people's budgets, doesn't it? How are we doing for time? We're all right. Just see if I've... And it's called Tarot of Musterberg. Musterberg. Mustard. Yeah, look. Tarot of Musterberg. For gameplay and cartomancy. And it has the siren on the back. Okay. Aren't all decks about $10? If only. My fourth one is the Spolio. Now I'm opening it upside down because I never actually broke the seal on this. I love the feel of this deck. I think this is a 90 card deck because it's a bit like a Minchiati. This is the first edition. So there's probably more editions now. And I don't know why I don't use this deck, because I did a walkthrough of it live on my channel and it didn't go down too well. As in, people were like, oh no, don't like this. And I kind of got influenced by that. And I shouldn't. I think I got influenced by it because it sticks in my mind, but that wouldn't normally stop me. But it has this little white book. This is a beast of a deck. It is huge because it's got, and they're quite large cards. The card stock is amazing. That's got to be like 400 GSM. Got to be. At a guess, don't quote me. But I think some people don't like it because it's a little collagey. But it feels really nice. That's massive, that's what she said. And it does have these strong backgrounds, so you saw lots of green there, there's lots of reds. Here's our Hierophant. But the quality is beautiful, and that's the backs. I don't know if I showed you the backs or not. Here is our Hermit. Show you a few others. The Death card. Devil is very interesting. The Tower. So what makes this and it's not a pip deck. It's got, you know, scenic. So here's our Two of Swords, for instance. But like I say, what makes this unique? Oh, look at the Ace of Cups.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Did I ask you? Who makes it? It's SpolioTarot.com, so it's indie. The text is written by Jessa Crispin, and the artwork is by Jen May. Six of Cups is beautiful. Queen of Cups. So I'm just showing a few, because obviously this isn't a walkthrough video. So when you get to the end, just like the Aturia or any sort of Minchiati deck, it does then give you, let's get to the end of the King of Coins, the astrological cards. So we have Aries, for example, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, there's mine, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and then you have the 4 elements. And interestingly, with the air card, it's that way on. So we have air, earth, water, and fire. So yeah, and the reason why I've included this one is because apart from the walkthrough I did, I've never used it. And it's such a shame because it's an indie deck, it wasn't cheap. Yeah, but it's a monster. But I've never used it. And there's not many decks, if any, I think, where I bought a deck and never actually used it. Hi, Claire. So that's the 4th deck in my underappreciated, underused decks. So that's that. So the last one that might come as a bit of a surprise is the Darkness of Light Tarot. Now this is a very popular deck, and I've had, this is the 2nd edition, 2019. I've had both editions, first 2 editions, should say, because there was a 3rd one with white borders, which just kind of defeated it for me. But I actually prefer the borderless version. These are, that's a title card, that's why it's not edged. I'm like, why have I got one card that's not edged? I edged it in black. And again, you know, I have used this a few times. I like the fact that there's more colour. Again, it's the Darkness of Light, but I like the fact that there's more colour in the actual minors. Look at that for the 3 of Cups. Beautiful. When I do get it out and use it, I like it, but I don't grab for it as much as I thought I would. This is my workhorse deck. I know some people really love it. And again, I followed, it's Tony somebody, isn't it? So I used to, well, I still do follow him on Instagram. And, who is it? Tony DeMoro. And I watched his whole creation process. Every time he did a card and he put it on Instagram, I was commenting, because I was on Instagram before I was on YouTube. And I kept saying, I can't wait for you to release your deck. And I was so excited about it. And it was like a year from now. And I was thinking, that just seems forever away. And then I got it. And then I got the 2nd edition. I gifted, I think, the 1st edition, or traded. And I just don't find that I use it as much as I should, because why not? It's... So yeah, there we have it. I love the Strength card. I think the Strength card is beautiful. So Lucian had it, couldn't connect, and gave it to Dave. And can Dave connect? Beautiful ace. Yeah, so for me, the majors, let me give you an example. So the majors are quite dark, almost like black and white, but the minors have more flashes of colour, and I kind of like that better. I love this King of Coins. Just look at him. He's a right ogre. Reprinting soon. Okay, is that the 4th edition then? I love that as well for the 10 of Cups. It's beautiful because that's sun behind. So yeah, and then you get lots of flashes of colour like purples and blues, etc. But the majors are all kind of dark like this. But anyway, and this one I've mentioned so many times, I just see the Beatles. There was a famous picture of the Beatles and it reminds me of that. I think the aces are stunning. I do love the aces in this deck. Darkness of Light is one of my favourite decks. I see this one all the time. Mine has white tops and bottoms. So you've got the 3rd edition. Gorgeous. So yeah, I should use it more. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've recognised that I've got decks in my collection that I enjoy, I like, but I haven't given them a chance. And I think if we're honest, we've perhaps all got decks that we don't give enough chance to, because we get a deck, we get excited about it, it arrives, we play with it, and then another deck comes out that we get excited about and we play with it. And when you've got the amount I've got, it's really easy for decks to become underappreciated and unused. So to recap in reverse order, not that they're in any sort of order, but the Darkness of Light Tarot, the Spolio Tarot, Tarot Dropsy, Tarot of Burg, the Golden Thread Tarot, and my new favourite deck, well, no, Shadowlands currently is my favourite deck that I'm working with, Tarot of the She, just because I've bonded with it today. What I wanted to say as well is, with Tarot of the She, just before I sign off, as well as, you know, having the Dancer, Maker, Warrior, Dreamer, there are altar cards as well. So it doubles up. I was reading in the little book. So, for instance, I wrote them down here so I didn't forget. Samhain is the death card. Obviously, I should have got them out, really. Yule, or Winter Solstice, is Temperance. Imbolc is the Star card. Ostara, or Spring Equinox, is the Empress. Beltane is the Lovers, figures. Litha, or the Summer Solstice, is the Sun. Lunasa, or Lamas, or Lunasard, I've heard it said so many ways. Wheel of Fortune. And Mabon, or Mabon, Autumn Equinox, is the Emperor. Robin, sign off. Do you have somewhere to be? I'm normally on for 45 minutes. Is that in the book, Simon? Yes, Tar Apple. Hello, Tar Apple, by the way. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're okay. It's at the back of the book, I think. Let's have a quick look. I've got the book here. Yeah, it's on page 91 of the book. So you can pull them out the deck, put them on your altar or your sacred space. Draw. If you follow the Celtic Wheel of the Year and honour the Sabbats, then it's great. Great topic today, Simon. Oh, you Nancy. You planted the seed, because I thought I want to connect with my Tarot of She, and then when I thought I think I've only ever used this once, and seeing how you trimmed it, I thought that will work, just doing the sides, each side. My next two videos are the Book of Shadows complete kit. I gifted that to Dan. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but Epine de Vale. When we first met in Bath, I gifted him that deck. It's got the as above and so below together, hasn't it? The Tarot of the Spirit, Book of Shadows, is amazing. Don't leave, Simon. Stay with us. Underappreciated deck 6 to 10. Much wants more. I'm flattered. I'm really flattered. But also, I've got a chili in the slow cooker that's been in there since 8 o'clock this morning. And it's smelling gorgeous. So I'm going to have chili and chips. Slim and Well chips. I hate food. How can anybody start a sentence, Lucian, with I hate food? I hate food. I can't make up my bloody mind on what to eat for lunch. Just make a nice sandwich. Can't beat a nice sarnie for lunch. Sandra says, fab topic, I might do a VR. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a VR to Sandra's Sandra's tag that she's done today. Check out the Whispering Well. She started a tag about our lockdown helpers. I think that's what it's called. Quarantine helpers, lockdown. I think it's lockdown helpers. And I thought, well, great idea. So I'll do that tomorrow. Mukbang with taro chili time. I think my mukbang days, I've done it twice now. Well, once was on Facebook in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group when I sampled the peanut butter and Marmite that I bought. I'm with Toadstool Taro. What, mukbang? It's not happening. And then the second one I did was the mushy peas and mint sauce last week. So yes, lockdown helpers. Yeah. I like food, but I hate cooking. I'm really, really making the most out of my slow cooker at the minute. I'm thinking, I'll just throw it all in the slow cooker and it's done. I've put salmon in there, chicken in there. I've even done some vegetable. I just chucked a load of vegetables in the other day. I always just put Pepsi Max. Beautiful. I haven't put Pepsi Max in today because it's a chili, but it's got everything in there. Onions. I've even put mushrooms in my chili. Don't send me hate mail, hate comments. Mushrooms, onions, peppers, tomatoes, tinned tomatoes, 5% lean mince, all the herbs and spices like coriander, cumin, paprika, obviously chili, garlic, red kidney beans, 2 OXO cubes, some soy sauce. 8 hours, leave it, and away you go. I was a cooking demon, says Claire. You name it, I prepped it. I love mushrooms in my chili. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, on Slim World, they encourage you to eat, you should do a cooking segment, Simon. They encourage you to eat as much speed food. Speed food is that which goes through your system quicker. It's not heavy or starchy. So things like mushrooms, onions, peppers, the more of that you can put in, the healthier it is. Sometimes even corn. I've seen carrot in chilies and bologneses. Speaking of cooking, I wonder where Brant has been. Yeah, where has Brant been? I've not seen, well, I've seen Brant. I saw Brant last night. We did a meditation through Little Zen Crones group. So I spoke to him last night, but I've not seen him in alive. But he is working as well. He's actually somebody who's going to work. Simon, why not start a cooking for the tarot series? I just don't know if that's what my subscribers would want, really. You know, it is a tarot channel. So I don't know. Even when I did the walkabout, come walk with me video the other day, I've done a couple of them. Because they're quite popular. And I've had a few comments saying, oh, do more out and about videos. So I did, and it's not about what's popular, but they don't get as many hits as when I talk about tarot. So you know, I kind of think as well, people subscribe to channels because of certain content. So I try and make sure the majority of my content anyway is around tarot and divination. You know, because that's what people sign up for. Oh, I've just seen a message that the golden thread is out of stock. Oh, sorry. But it might come up on eBay and things like that. Night Ken, thanks for being here. Brant has a new job. Yes, he does. So he's going out to work now. He was at home for a while, and that's why we saw a lot of him. Now he's actually one of these people who gets to go out to work. Love your walkabouts. Good. And I'll keep doing them, you know, when there's places that you haven't seen. I'm not going to take people to the same places, but all right. So, is that it? Oh, card pull. Let's do a card pull. Dinner date with your deck. Interview spreads. You lot. All right, let's have a card for to see us through the next 24 hours. Something for us to focus on. I'll keep looking at the comments as well. Bye, stray cat. Enjoy your chilly time. Time for me to get breakfast together. The first coffee, can't beat the first coffee. First coffee in the morning, and the one when you finish work and you relax, which was this one, like that first sip. I've done for the evening. I need more visitation time. Anybody else doing a live today? I don't know, is Becca doing one? What day is it? Oh, it's Monday, isn't it? I mean, it's not her day for doing one, but she has been doing some during lockdown, so she might. Well, that nearly damaged a card. My daughter is in London. She flew in. Wow, she's allowed. Oh, Becca's there. 9 p.m, a showdown. Oh, we get a tarot showdown tonight over at Becca's. Right, I think this is telling me you've shuffled them enough. I'm so excited to get my new mini deck as well, because I think they'll be easier to shuffle. Just free that message up. Oh, another moderator just handled it. You're ahead of me. I think that's shuffled enough, don't you? Oh, we've got blind. This card's never come up before. What is it that we're not seeing? And that's a difficult one to answer, because if we're not seeing it, we might not be aware of it. So are we blinded to something? Either ourselves by perhaps focusing too hard on something and therefore not seeing the wood from the trees, and therefore we might need to extend that vision to more the peripheral areas as well. Or is somebody blinding us to something as well by matter of deception? Are we... I mean, when I see an image like this, you know, she's got her hands covering her own face, but look at her face as well. There's like this confusion, and we can be in that state, can't we, where we're perhaps sometimes unwilling to be able to perceive something, to understand something fully. Either maybe we don't feel that we've got the time, the resources, or the trust in people as well. So there's two ways to look at this. When I see blind, and we think of the definition of blind, that's not being able to see things or not being able to see things clearly. But to be blinded can be from our own doing, by not being completely open and not, you know, being too focused on something and therefore not seeing the bigger picture. Or even, you know, by being blinded because we are very narrow in our thinking towards something. And if we're being blinded by somebody else, then that is being done to us. And perhaps we need to be a bit more aware of that and always look for the bigger picture. You know, there's always two sides to everything. So just because somebody is saying something to you or telling you something, you don't automatically have to be that blinkered and go with it. You know, always go and seek out and find your own truth in any situation. Don't be blinded by others. You know, yeah, always make your judgments, always make your decisions based on your own experiences. Yeah, don't be willing to perceive, I think is what I want to say. We're blind to the fact that a second wave of COVID-19 is coming. Possibly, but then, you know, that is also in our control, isn't it? You know, because we can only do what we can do, and we need everybody else to do what they can do. So therefore, we have to be accountable for our own actions and our own decisions and our own thought processes. We can encourage people to, you know, be more cautious, but at the same time, you know, we can only be responsible for ourselves. So, yes, blinded. Can have many different it says here, but, you know, I can extend that to blinded. It can have many different connotations, but I think really, when I think of the fool, when I think of blind and blindness in the tarot, I think of the fool as well, you know, because that's somebody who is so focused on the journey, focused on the beautiful sky, the sun and everything else, the flower in hand, that not aware of the peripheral. And what was tarot was I showing the other day, and it got the fool as being blindfolded? It was the Tarot of the Witches. You know, and again, that blindfold that has been put on, it was to illustrate that actually two things. One is that we need to be aware of the danger around us. We need to be aware of what we're probably not seeing instead of just focusing on the one thing. But also the second point is that when we are blind or blinded by either somebody or our own doing, then we tend to, you know, if we haven't got that, what else have we got? We rely on the other senses, don't we? So maybe if we are blind to something, we need to, and we haven't got that sight or that clear vision, we need to be focusing on what's happening in here. Trust your gut. And that goes back to, you know, if somebody is blinding you, what are they trying to get you to believe? What are they trying to get you to see from their viewpoint? What we need to do is go within and actually, going back to what I said about making our own judgments, living our own experiences and finding out for ourselves. All right, I will leave that there. That was quite a long-winded one today, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. So many people here. It's lovely to see so many people again. Thank you for supporting these QuaranStreams. I don't know how much longer they're going to go on for, but they're certainly going on for the foreseeable because there isn't that much of a let-up here. And while ever I'm still fortunate enough to work from home, then I will continue with the QuaranStreams. So enjoy your chili. I will, Jessie. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the mods for the links and keeping everybody safe. Do look after yourselves. Don't be tempted at this time to push the boundaries too far. Still stay safe, you know, be alert and do all you can to keep yourselves and those loved ones around you well. And I'll be back tomorrow for QuaranStream number 30. And I'll be doing Sandra's tag, so we can have some fun with that together. So until then, guys, look after yourselves, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.